Okay, so last time I have given you the activity about the literary and non-literary text and a sneak peek of context. But first, we are going to discuss what is a literary text and what is a non-literary text and the difference between the two. Okay, and then later on after the discussion, there will be a group activity of yours. Okay, so sa mga wala, sa mga absence o sa mga absentees for today, they are going to submit the activity individually. Okay? Pero sa mga nandito na nakapag-attend, you are going to have your group work later on after the discussion, on the short discussion between the differences between the literary and non-literary text. No, but before that, okay, let's have first an icebreaker. Now, after the vacation that we had, which is weekends rather, okay, and then medyo maaga pa, baka medyo inaantok pa. Let's have first an icebreaker. Okay, so in this icebreaker, I will be showing 3 scenarios. Okay, so a picture or a scenario, a situation, and then you're just going to come up with an answer. Okay, try to reason out. These are comprehension questions or logical questions, okay, for you to answer. Okay, so I will give you perhaps 10 seconds for you to answer and write it on the chat box. Okay, sa mga gustong sumagot. Okay, so this is the first scenario, okay, or first situation, or first question. So madali lang naman siya. Okay, so exercise of the brain lang naman. Okay, you have only one what? You have only one match rather. You have to make tough choice. What will you like first between the three? Okay, so medyo madilim. Okay, and then you have the newspaper. Okay, meron ka piece of food. Okay, and also a lamp. Okay, you only have one match. You have to make a tough choice, sabi. Okay, so in order for you to lit the dark place, what will you light first? Anyone can answer. The eyes. What else? How about the others? What would you like first? We do have here, in this situation. The newspaper, the lamp, the wood. Okay, so all of you answers different. Okay, are different sa each other. No? So may nagsasabing lamp, may nagsasabing newspaper, may nagsasabing the wood. Okay, bakit? Bakit yung newspaper? For those na namagot ng newspaper, bakit? Bakit din yung lamp? Okay, so most of us kasi will think in a dark place, given this objects, the lamps, the newspaper, and a piece of food, and then you just only have one match. Okay, unahin natin iisipin is the lamp. Okay, pero ang pinakaumpisa is, of course, you should light first the match. Okay, how can you light all of those if you are not going to light the match? Okay, so again, match po muna ang tawag dito ang ating papailawin. Okay, so no other than on these three. Okay, so match muna. Okay, so hindi si lamp, hindi si newspaper, hindi si wood. Okay, you are going to light first is the match. Okay, so tama ba yun? Kindly hit the thumbs up button if that makes sense. Okay, so match po muna ang ating sisindihan ng umpisa. Second one, second scenario. If a plane crashes right on the border between Canada and the United States, where should they bury the survivors? Okay, if a plane crashes right on the border between Canada and the United States, where should they bury the survivors? Between Canada and United States. Sa tingin niyo, what would be the answer? Cemetery, according kay Uriarte. How about the others? Kung saan sila nakatira, according kay Angel? How about the others? America po, sabi ni Sammy. Sa country nila. Okay, just like reading a literary text and a non-literary text, first, we should read between the lines, and also we should comprehend first okay, what we are reading before now we come up with an answer. Okay, look closely to the question. If a plane crashes right on the border between Canada and the United States, where should they bury the survivors? Okay, so why are you going to bury the survivors? They are survivors. Okay, so you should not choose between the border between Canada, United States, or cemetery. Okay, in the first place, why you should bury the survivors. Okay, so hindi tayo nagbawasan ng question, ha? We are directly answering it. Kaya minsan di natin naiintindihan. Okay, yung ating binabasa. Okay, so does it make sense? Again, we should not bury the survivors. Okay, so kahit sa Canada man yan or United States or even in the cemetery. Okay, so nakaligtas sila pero hindi po natin sila ililibing. Okay, is that clear? Kindly hit the thumbs up button kung clear yan. Okay, very well. Then last one, before we proceed to our lesson. How can it be that every single person in a plane crash died, but 2 people survived? Okay, kindly answer the question. Pag-isipan mo ng mabuti. How can it be that every single person in a plane crash died, but 2 people survived? Bakit kaya? Paano nangyari yon? At what instance it can be possible? Again, how can it be that every single person in a plane crash died, but 2 people survived? Paano yon? How are we going to reason out? Okay, in that particular, the 2 can swim. Okay. Mag-jowang ayaw maghiwalay. That's a very good, tawag dito, malapit na doon sa tamang sagot. The 2 are lovers, very good. Okay, so that is the question. So pagtungo sa pag-ibig, tumatama talaga eh, no? The thing is, those 2 survivors were married. Okay, every single person died in a plane crash. Okay, single pertains to the marital status, but 2 people survived because they were married. Okay, very good. Okay, so dun sa last one, tumama. Kasi tungkol sa pag-ibig. So very well. So the 2 are lovers, they were married. Okay, so the ones that died in the plane crash is the every single person. Okay, kaya mayroong nag-survive. Okay, so they are married. Okay, alam nyo na, pag sumakay kayo aeroplano, dapat married kayo para makaligtas. That joke lang, ha? Okay, so enough no for that for the icebreaker reports. Okay, so sa mga susunod na ulit. Sa mga susunod, baka maghanda na kayo dyan, ha? Okay, so mas maganda pa rin na may thrill. Okay, kung saan babasahin nyo pa lang. Okay, yung mga questions and then you're trying to think of the scenarios. Okay, what would be the answer? Okay, so sa mga susunod na. Now, moving forward, let us now have our topic, literary context. Okay, so namely literary and non-literary text. Na doon muna tayo sa linguistic bago tayo pumunta sa mga iba pang context such as biographical and socio-cultural context. Okay? First, we do have what we call literary text. From the word itself, no, literary text, it is a piece of written material such as a book or a poem that has the purpose of telling a story or entertaining as in a fictional novel. Kaya pa sinabing literary text from the word itself, literary. Okay? So it is for us to tell a story, for us to entertain ang kanyang function. Kaya yung kanyang purpose. Okay, literary texts also are texts that are narrative, na kwento, no, or tell a story and contain elements of fiction. What are the elements of fiction? Okay, meron tayong characters, the plot, so on and so forth. Okay, so some good examples of literary text includes novels, short stories, and poetry. Okay, any material which purpose is to tell a story and to entertain, that is what we call a literary text. No? Best examples of these are as follows: novels, short stories, poetries. Okay, so ito pa yung mga other examples. Okay, so ito kaya, literary text ba sila? This one, no, the reading materials you can see in the picture. Is this a literary text? According to Christopher, it's yes. How about the others? Is it yes? Is it an example of a literary text? Yung Bible, hindi. Why? Okay, so all of these are examples of a literary text. Okay, so these novels, no reading materials. Now the Bible itself tells a story. Okay, it tells to persuade, okay, or to entertain us. Okay, so hindi lang siya about information, but it tells you story. There are a lot of stories, di ba, given in the Bible. Okay, so that is an example of a literary text pa din. So with this one, is this a literary text din ba? These examples presented. Okay, so very well. No, so these are all examples of a literary text. No, a diary, no, a poetry. Okay, so these are all examples of a literary text. Now, it functions or purpose of it is to entertain, and it tells a story, no, narratively. How about this one? Is this an example of a literary text? Is this an example of a literary text? How about the others? Christopher says no. How about the others? Is this can categorize as literary text? Yes, according to Sami, kay Angel, it's no. Now, definitely, it is not a literary text. Not these textbooks, not such as the biology book, the newspapers, the magazines, okay? So, hindi po siya type ng isang literary text. So, kung hindi siya literary text, of course, it would fall under a non-literary text. Okay? So, ano ba yung non-literary text? Okay, kabaliktaran lang, of course. Okay? Yung literary text is to, the functions to tell a story, no, and to entertain. No, ang ating non-literary text, no, are those whose primary purpose rather is to convey information, no, and do not have the same narrative and fictional elements such as in the literary text. Okay? So again, pag non-literary text, no, purely to convey informations. Okay, so not in a narrative way, okay, not to tell a story and not tawag dito, not to tell a story and not in a narrative way, or not in a, what do you call this one, not to entertain rather, no, but to give information or to inform. Ito yung mga examples niya. Okay, ng non-literary text, no, the textbooks na binabasa natin, the newspapers, okay, so meron din tayong research, okay, the magazines, okay, the service manual. Okay, those are examples of a non-literary text. Okay, so again, anong pinagkaiba ng non-literary text kay literary text? Sinabing literary text, okay, the functions is to entertain. Okay, so it is to tell a story narratively. Okay, and then pag sinabi naman nating non-literary text, this is purely, the purpose is just to convey information. Okay, and do not have the same narrative and fictional elements as literary text. Okay, so yun ang pinagkaiba nila. Again, literary text. Reading a literary text includes searching for motifs, metaphors, and symbolism. On the other hand, when we say non-literary text, it is analyzing a non-literary text requires now no confirming the facts, gaining knowledge, developing skills, and performing tasks. Okay, so look at the difference between the two when it comes to reading it. Okay, so sa literary text, no, kasama doon yung mga metaphors, symbolism, the motifs, no, kapag binabasa natin ang isang literary text o ina-analyze. When it comes to a non-literary text naman, okay, in analyzing a non-literary text, we should have first the facts. Okay, so what is the gaining knowledge, the developing skills, and the performing task. Okay, so that is the difference between the literary and non-literary text. Okay, hanggang dun lang muna tayo bago tayo pumunta sa iba't ibang parts ng context. Okay, just like what I've said last time, di ba? Meron tayong tinatawag na biographical, socio-cultural, okay, na context. So, dito muna tayo sa literary. Okay, literary text tsaka non-literary text. Question so far between the difference between a literary and a non-literary text. If none, kindly hit the thumbs up button. Okay, very well. So now we still have enough time for you not to have your activity. So this will be a group activity. I am going to divide you into 4 members siguro in each group. That will do na siguro. Okay, I will just give instruction first no, before I put you in the breakout room. Okay, so wait for a while. For your group activity, you can look for the lesson package entitled 21st Century Lit Lesson Literary Non-Literary Text. Okay, so this is the picture no, of the Venn diagram that you're going to work on no, as a group. Okay, so kung gusto nyo ng file niyan, andito sa baba, kindly hit the download button lang, and then editable naman yan. Okay, pwede nyo nang gawing format yun dito sa file ha, editable naman yan. Okay, so ito pong file na to. Okay, so ito lang yung makikita nyo dyan kapag binuksan nyo yung file. Okay, so there will be group number here. Okay, kung ano yung room number mo, yun yung ilalagay doon. Okay, later on, once na nilagay ko na kayo sa breakout rooms. Okay, you're just going to fill out this Venn diagram. You are a bit familiar naman siguro with what Venn diagram is and what is the function of it. Okay, so you're just going to differentiate the two. The literary text and non-literary text. So in this side, you're going to list the differences between the two. You can have it as bulleted form. Okay, pa pwede yan. Editable yan ha doon sa file. Pwedeng doon na lang kayo mag-type. Okay, and then the similarities. Okay, so try to come up with the similarities between the two. Sa tingin ninyo, ano kaya yung similarities nila? Okay, so you can have here at least 5. Okay, in each column. Okay, the differences and the similarities of literary and non-literary texts. Okay, so after that, now there is a question pa rin below. Write at least 3 examples each of literary text and non-literary text. Okay, aside from the examples I have given already on our discussion, okay, think of another examples, at least 3, for a literary and non-literary text. Okay, so ano pa yung sa tingin niyo example ng literary text tsaka non-literary text, aside from those I have mentioned earlier. Okay, and then mangyari lamang na ilagay yung group mates dito sa tabi. Okay, so yung full name ng group mates pakilagay dito. Nakasama na rin kung may leader. Okay, para alam ko. Okay, kung sino yung mga tumulong at saka yung mga nagpasa. Okay, so after that, okay, kung may papasa ng file, okay lang naman, kindly attach the file. But kung hindi kaya mag-attach ng file, picture na lang. Okay, have a screenshot of your finished activity, then kindly submit it on the Genio of yours. Okay, on the assignment. Okay, so is that clear? Kindly hit the thumbs up button kung clear yan. Okay, very well. So now I am going to put you in a breakout room. So it will be randomized. So sino magiging grupo nyo, yun po ang tawag dito ang magiging group mates ninyo, yun yung pakikisamahan ninyo sa paggawa ng ating Venn diagram. Okay, so I will be dividing you into 4 members in each group. Okay, so kung may magtatatlo man, kasi hindi tayo equal, then sorry. How many are you ba? Wait lang.